safer, just a softer name for playing scared of stage. I outgrew the moment, I stopped asking permission to attack. The predator awoke, and there's no going back. I spent too long protecting what I hadn't even built, defending an empty position, carrying the guilt of ambition. I was scared to chase that ends right now. The predator awoke, and I remember how to move, to strike, to clean the targets I've been circling for years. Confidence isn't the absence of the doubter of the fears, it's the decision to convert the intention in emotion. The predator awoke and ended the devotion. The hesitation died the moment I stopped overthinking. The target's been the same the whole time, I just stopped blinking. Stopped waiting for permission, stopped asking, am I ready? The predator awoke and the grip is steady. The predator awoke, no more playing defense. The predator awoke, every move makes sense. Confidence turns the intention into the actual attack. The predator awoke, and I'm not going back. The predator awoke, hunting for the goal. The predator awoke, total self-control. No more waiting for the moment, I am the moment now. The predator awoke, take the vibe. The version of me that waited for the perfect opening, watch the opportunities pass by without ever opening. The door and self-diversion is extinct as of today. The predator awoke and cleared the way. I don't wait for the weight to feel light, I attack the heavy. I don't wait for the motivation, I bring the levy of action that breaks every dam of hesitation built. The predator awoke, operating without guilt. Every target I identified is now within the range. Every objective I avoided is now within the strange. New territory of someone who moves first and asks questions later. Predator awoke, confidence the activator. The whip between the hunter and the prey is the decision to move toward the target with conviction and precision. Not reckless and deliberately, every action has a name. The predator awoke and confidence became the flame. The predator awoke, no more playing defense. The predator awoke, every move makes sense. Confidence turns the intention into the actual attack. The predator awoke, and I'm not going back. The predator awoke, hunting for the goal. The predator awoke, total self-control. No more waiting for the moment, I am the moment now. The predator awoke, take the power. Take the vow. I am not reacting to the world, I am acting on it now. Every goal that used to intimidate me, I know how to approach the stalk it close to distance, take the wind of the predator awoke, let the hunt begin. The old version analyzed forever, never move. The new version touched the instinct that's already proves itself in every section where I chose attack over retreat. The predator awoke, testing the feet. Every obstacle between me and the goal is just a brain, not a reason to hesitate, a reason to maintain the momentum of the predator who never lost a scent. But the predator awoke, totally spent. Every person who stopped playing defense and chose to hunt, as the warrior who converted confidence into the front line of action, into movement, into the actual attack. The predator awoke, and there's no going back. No more playing defense. The predator awoke, every move makes sense. Confidence turns the intention into the actual attack. The predator awoke, and I'm not going back. The predator awoke, hunting for the goal. The predator awoke, total self-control. No more waiting for the moment, I am the moment now. The predator awoke, take the vow. You stop waiting, you stop defending, you move. There's confidence, that's the difference. Hey, the predator awoke, woke, 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 woke. Never losing. Yeah. The dream doesn't move closer when you stand still and wish. It moves closer with the motion, with the grind, with the finish of every set that pulls the distance down between here and there. Force in motion, closing every square. Every rep is a unit of distance traveled toward the goal. Every session is a mile marker on the road I stroll. A sprint, depending on the day, but always moving forward. Force in motion, never backward. The body in motion proves the spirit hasn't quit the fight. Every drop of sweat is a signature, a receipt of light. Left behind the mark, the progress nobody can erase. Force in motion, picking up the pace. They ask me how I know the dream is getting closer every day. I show them the log, the record, the undeniable way. The numbers move, the weight increases, the body transforms. Force in motion, through every storm. Force in motion, never standing still. Force in motion, climbing up the hill. Every step I take is proof the fight is still alive. Force in motion, that's how dreams arise. the ones who stayed in motion know the slow is just unstoppable. Momentum building quietly beneath what eyes can see. Force in motion, that's the recipe. Every plateau that looked permanent was just a pause for breath. The body resting before the climb, not a signal of death. To the ambition just to track the break before the next push. Force in motion, through every harsh progress doesn't always announce itself with fireworks and noise. Sometimes it whispers in the small increase, the quiet poise of a body slowly becoming more than it was before. Force in motion, always asking more. The dream that seemed impossible a year ago today is closer now than it has ever been, because I stayed in motion through the doubt, through the plateau, through the grind. Force in motion, that's the state of mind. Force in motion, never standing still. Force in motion, coming up the hill. Every step I take is proof the fight is still alive. Force in motion, that's how dreams arise. Force in motion, progress is the proof. Force in motion, raising up the roof of what I thought was possible. The ceiling keeps on moving. Force in motion, never losing. I am the distance, cover not the distance still ahead. Every mile I travel proves the dream is being fed by the motion, not the waiting, not the wishing from afar. Force in motion, closer than we are. The gap between me and the dream is shrinking every day. Not because the dream got closer, because I chose to stay moving toward it with the discipline and never took a rest. Force in motion, giving my best. Every session is a goal for the future that I want. Every bump a small investment in the account gets compounding to the version of me standing there. Force in motion, getting there. Every person who kept moving when the progress felt too slow. Every warrior who trusted in the motion and let them know that dream was getting closer even when they couldn't see. Force in motion, that's the key. Force in motion, never standing still. Force in motion, climbing up the hill. Every step I take is proof the fight is still alive. Force in motion, that's how dreams rise. Force in motion, progress is the proof. Force in motion, raising up the roof on what I thought was possible. The ceiling keeps on moving, never losing. The dream didn't move closer on its own. You move toward it. Every rep, every session, that's the proof. Force in motion. Yeah. Maximum altitude. The ground was comfortable, the ground was always known. Every standard I accepted kept me close to home, close to safe, close to average, close to everyone I knew. Maximum altitude and the edge is thin and true. The first foot off the ground is the hardest one to lift. Everything in the body fights to climb, cause it a rip. From the familiar, from the proven, from the floor. Maximum altitude, always asking for more. Raising the standard isn't comfortable, it's not designed to be. It's designed to separate the ones who climb from those who see the mountain and decide. The view from the bottom is enough. Maximum altitude, courage is the stuff. Every level I climbed, that's for more than the last one did. Every standard I raised left a comfortable version hid beneath the cloud line, beneath where the average chose to stay. Maximum altitude, leaving the ground today. Maximum altitude, leaving the ground behind. Maximum altitude, raising the standard of my mind. Discipline gets harder the higher that I fly. Maximum altitude, reaching for the sky. Maximum altitude, courage to ascend. Maximum altitude, the climb never ends. Every level higher, ask for more than I've given you. Maximum altitude, nothing to regret. The discipline required, every altitude increases. The thin air doesn't forgive the same mistakes. It ceases to tolerate the sloppy habits that the ground allowed. Maximum altitude, climbing through the cloud. Every standard I raise becomes a new floor I stand upon. Every discipline I master becomes the ground that I depend on. Before I climb again, the cycle never finds its peak. Maximum altitude, always one more streak. I left behind the people who were comfortable below. Not with arrogance, with the simple fact that I chose to grow past that altitude that used to feel like enough for me. Maximum altitude, that's what it takes to see. The view from every new height reveals the next one waiting. The standard keeps elevating, the discipline keeps creating a version of myself that yesterday could not sustain. Maximum altitude, through the wind and rain. Maximum altitude, leaving the ground behind. Maximum altitude, raising the standard of my mind. The discipline gets harder the higher that I fly. Maximum altitude, reaching for the sky. Maximum altitude, courage to ascend. Maximum altitude, the climb never ends. Every level higher is for more than I've given yet. Maximum altitude, nothing to regret. Every warrior who left the comfortable ground and never lost sight of why they climbed. We all know the same altitude, maximum altitude. That's the attitude. Maximum altitude, leaving the ground behind. Maximum altitude, raising the standard of my mind. The discipline gets harder the higher that I fly. Maximum altitude, reaching for the sky. Courage to ascend. Maximum altitude, the climb never ends. Every level higher, ask for more than I've given yet. Maximum altitude, nothing to regret. The ground was never the problem. Staying was. You left it. That took courage. Maximum altitude, 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 altitude. Keep climbing. Put another yeah. Come on, come on. Hey, 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 hey. Rise and fight. Rising will fight. Rise and fight. Rising is the component. Life knocked me down more times than I can put a number on. Counted every fall until I lost the count and moved along. Because the falling never was the part that told my story. Rise and fight, that's where I found the glory. Falling is a moment, it happens fast, it happens hard. Rising is a choice, it happens in the heart, not the regard of anyone who's watching. It happens when alone. Rise and fight, that's how the strength is grown. Every time the ground met me, I treated it as a meeting, not a verdict, not a sentence. Just a brief greeting before the next round, before the next stand, before the rise. Rise and fight, watch the fire in my eyes. They counted every time I hit the floor as proof I'm done. They never counted all the times I stood. They missed the one statistic that actually matters, the percentage that I rise. Rise and fight, and watch me claim the prize. Rise and fight, falling is just a moment. Rise and fight, rising is the component that separates the ones who stay down from the ones who climb. Rise and fight, every single time. Rise and fight, the ground don't hold me long. Rise and fight, I come back twice as strong. Doesn't matter how many times life puts me on my knees. Rise and fight, that's the only creed. The body remembers every fall, it builds a kind of armor. The mind remembers every rise, it builds a kind of karma. A resilience that compounds with every single round. Rise and fly stronger off the ground. I don't measure my life by how many times I hit the floor. I measure it by how many times I chose to want more than staying down and calling it and letting the fall win. Rise and fight and do it all again. Every fighter who's remembered wasn't the one who never failed, was the one who rose enough times that the fallen couldn't tell the difference anymore between the setback and the climb. Rise and fight every single time. Trust the rise gets easier the more that I repeat it. The muscle of resilience grows the more that I complete it. Every rise makes the next fall smaller in comparison. Rise and fight, that's the daily decision. Rise and fight, falling is just a moment. Rise and fight, rising is a component. Separates the ones who stay down from the ones who climb. Rise and fight, every single time. Rise and fight, the ground don't hold me long. Rise and fight, I come back twice as strong. Doesn't matter how many times life puts me on my knees. Rise and fight, it's the only creed. That's the only creed. Hey, hey, that's the only creed. I am counted in the fall, I'm counting more in the return. Every time I hit the ground, I felt the lesson burn into something useful, into fuel for the next round. Rise and fight, I own every pound. The pushes that tried to keep me down, they couldn't hold. Every fall just proved the strength I had and being told I had until the ground demanded I find out the truth. Rise and fight, dust the proofs. The work can knock me down 1,000 times in 1,000 ways. I get up 1,001, that's how this plays. The falling is guaranteed, the rising is the fight. Rise and fight, every single night. Every single night. Rise and fight, falling is just a moment. Rise and fight, rising is the component that separates the ones who stay down from the ones who climb. Rise and fight, every single time. Rise and fight, the ground don't hold me long. Rise doesn't fight. That's the year! I saw the win before the weight was ever in my hand. Saw the version of myself who already understands what the outcome looks like. Built the image clean and clear. Champion's eyes, and the victory lives here. Before I touch the bar, I've already touched the win. The mind arrives before the body, that's where champions begin. Not in the execution, in the vision held in place. Champion's eyes, read it on my face. I don't hope for the result, I observe it in advance. The body just catches up to what the mind is seeing in the glance. At the future that's already written in the way I stand. Champion's eyes, the victory is planned. They see the weight, I see the rep already done. They see the challenge, I see the war already won. The gap between perception is the gap between the throne. Champion's eyes, and I claim it as my own. Champion's eyes, see the win before the fight. Champion's eyes, victory in sight. Before the first rep even touches down, I've already won. Champion's eyes, that's how it's done. Champion's eyes, believe it first. Champion's eyes, quench the thirst with the vision of the victory before it's even real. Champion's eyes, that's the only deal. That's the only deal. Yeah, the amateur wait for the proof before they let themselves believe. The champion believes first and lets the proof catch up and weave itself into reality. The order is reversed. Champion's eyes, believing comes first. Every record I've broken, I saw broken in my mind. Days, weeks, sometimes years before the evidence aligned. But what I'd already accepted as a fact, now yet revealed. Champion's eyes, that's how the future's sealed. I don't visualize to hope, I visualize to know. The image in my mind is not a wish, it's a preview of the show that's gonna happen because I've already seen it through. Champion's eyes, and now I make it true. The vision isn't passive, the vision is the architect. Every action I take is just construction, the direct result of seeing it complete before I lay the first brick. Champion's eyes, and the build is quick. Champion's eyes, see the win before the fight. Champion's eyes, victory in sight. Before the first rep even touches down, I've already won. Champion's eyes, that's how it's done. Champion's eyes, believe it first. Champion's eyes, quench the thirst with the vision of the victory before it's even real. Champion's eyes, that's the only deal. That's the only deal. I am the person who saw this body before it existed. Every pound of muscle was a future I persisted in. See until the mirror finally agreed with me. Champion's eyes, that's what it means to see. The weak see the obstacle, the champion sees the path. The weak see the difficulty, the champion does the math on what it takes to get from here to where the vision stands. Champion's eyes, victory in my hand. Before the opponent knows the fight, I've already closed it. For the session it is God's, I've already composed it. In my mind, the finished product, the completed scene. Champion's eyes, it's the only thing I've seen. Every champion who has ever stood on top of the podium saw themselves standing there before the stadium. Ever filled with people watching what they already know. Champion's eyes, that's the view. Champion's eyes, see the win before the fight. Champion's eyes, victory in sight. Before the first rep even touches down, I've already won. Champion's eyes, that's how it's done. Champion's eyes, believe it first. Champion's eyes, quench the thirst with the vision of the victory before it's even real. Champion's eyes, that's the only deal. We saw it before it happened. That's why it happened. Champion's eyes, believe it first. Conquer it after. On the chest, pressure on the bar, pressure everywhere. Most people feel it crushing, I feel it building something rare. The same exact condition produces opposite results. Pressure breeds power, that's the only console I needed. Every weight that pushed against me taught conquer sales, to adapt, to recruit more to answer with the swells. So strength that comfort never would have asked them to provide. Pressure breeds power, nothing left to hide. The diamond and the coke came from the same exact beginning. The difference is the pressure and the difference is the winning. Formula for transformation, heat and force and time. Pressure breeds power, every single climb. The world applied the pressure thinking it would make me less. Instead it forced a version standing here that won't regress. Every squeeze produced an equal and opposite reaction. Pressure breeds power, that's the satisfaction. Pressure breeds power, pusher gets me harder. Pressure breeds power, makes me a non-star. For weakness, every force that tried to break me made me more. Pressure breeds power, that's what the grind is for. Pressure breeds power, doesn't diminish me. Pressure breeds power, it's what ignites me. The harder life presses down, the harder I press back. Pressure breeds power, and I don't lack. The athlete who avoids the pressure never builds a system that converts the force applied into something that can resist them. Future pressures, bigger weights, heavier demands ahead. Pressure breeds power, that's exactly what I said. Every set that puts me past the point of comfortable built a tolerance for pressure that's now unstoppable. The body learned to treat the heavy as a normal weight. Pressure breeds power, that's the only state. I don't shrink when the demand increases, I expand. The pressure of the moment is the fuel, not the command. The fold, every single force that's tried to crush me built the frame. Pressure breeds power, that's the only name. The diamond doesn't form without the crushing weight of earth. The strongest steel emerges from the heat that proves its worth. I am no different from the elements that pressure makes complete. Pressure breeds power, that's the heat. Pressure breeds power, pusher gets me harder. Pressure breeds power, makes me a non-starter. For weakness, every force that tried to break me made me more. Pressure breeds power, that's what the grind is for. Pressure breeds power, doesn't diminish me. Pressure breeds power, it's what ignites me. The harder life presses down, the harder I press back. Pressure breeds power, and don't lack. I damn the party took every pound of pressure left up collide. Every time the weight got heavier, I found the strength inside to match it, to exceed it, to turn the force into the fuel. Pressure breeds power, that's the only rule. The ones who break under pressure never built the system for it. The ones who rise will fall by every moment that came for them. With maximum demand and answered it with maximum reply. Pressure breeds power, that's my only why. Every punch on the record that I broke him had a pressure behind it. Every version of myself that cool, pressure define it. I run from the intensity, I convert it into more. Pressure breeds power, that's what I'm here for. My personal turn of pressure in the personal hour. Every warrior who got stronger in the darkest hour. We all know the secret, for you live that weakness never finds. Pressure breeds power in the strongest mind. Pressure breeds power. Pressure breeds power, pusher gets me harder. Pressure breeds power, makes me a non-starter. Weakness, every force that tried to break me made me more. Pressure breeds power, that's what the grind is for. Pressure breeds power. Let's go. Yeah. One, two, resist. Not born already strong. Strength was assembled through every single thing gone wrong before it went right. Every difficulty a brick. Born to resist. That's the only trick. Life tested every limit it could find and find again. Tested the body, tested the mind, tested where it went. I finally say enough and that day never came. Born to resist. That's why they know my name. I wasn't issued strength at birth. I was issued the capacity to build it through the difficulty, through the audacity of standing back up every time the difficulty arrived. Born to resist. That's how I survive. They look at the result and call it talent, call it gift. They never saw the difficulty that gave the strength to lift into existence. Never saw the forge, just saw the sword. Born to resist, that's my reward. Born to resist. Strength built in the fight. Born to resist. Difficulty made me right. Every hard thing I survived became a part of me. Born to resist, that's my destiny. Born to resist. Tested every day. Born to resist. Never gave way. Life can test my limits, but it never tests my will. Born to resist. Standing still. The difficulty isn't the enemy of the strength I carry. The difficulty is the parent. The difficulty is the quarry where the strength was mine from every challenge was a vein. Born to resist. Built through the pain. I don't resent the hard roads. I recognize the architecture. Every obstacle that tested me became the structure that's holding up the person who refuses to be broken. Born to resist. Yeah, that's the unspoken. Truth about the ones who carry weight the world can't comprehend. They weren't born unbreakable, they were broken and they men. Stronger every time, that's the secret nobody tells. Born to resist through every hell. The body that withstood the worst is the body built to last. Every difficulty that I survived belongs to my past. It's fuel, not as scars that weaken, as the proof I'm forged. Born to resist, every debt paid off, nothing owed. Born to resist, strength built in the fight. Born to resist, difficulty made me right. Every hard thing I survived became a part of me. Born to resist, that's my destiny. Born to resist, tested every day. Born to resist, never gave way. Life can test my limits, but it never tests my will. Born to resist, standing still. I am the product of every difficulty I didn't quit on. Every hard season built the piece of who I'm built on. The foundation isn't valid, the foundation is the test. I'm born to resist, and every test my best. The world can throw its hardest at the person standing here. Every single thing is thrown, it's only made it clear that the determination was deeper than the test can reach. I'm born to resist, that's the only speech I needed. Life to test the limits of the body and the mind, but the will that keeps me standing means a different kind of strong, untestable, untestable, unbroken. Born to resist, every vow spoken. Every person who built the strength in the difficulties fire. Every warrior whose determination never seen it fire. No matter what life tested, we all know the same truth. Born to resist, that's the proof. Born to resist, strength built in the fight. Born to resist, difficulty made me right. Every hard thing I survived became a part of me. Born to resist, that's my destiny. Born to resist, tested every day. Born to resist, never gave way. Life can test my limits, but it never tests my will. Born to resist, standing still. The difficulty didn't break you, it built you. Your strength has a birth certificate, and it's signed by everything. You survived. Born to resist. Born to resist. Distorted bass. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing less. The moment I decided, everything shifted. Not the moment the weight moved, the moment I lifted the excuse off my chest and put the iron there instead. Victory is a decision, it lived inside my head. Before it lived in my body, before the muscle came, before the discipline had a body, it had a name. Decision, a single moment when excuses died. Victory is a decision made from the inside. Come on, my reach, I was determined on before it appeared. By the day my determination cleared every fear. The field of every justification I had built. Victory is a decision, zero guilt. Today I chose to stop negotiating with the weak version of myself, to stop allowing it to speak over the decision. That was the day victory was sealed. Victory is a decision already revealed. Victory is a decision made before the rip. Victory is a decision taken at each step. The moment determination got bigger than excuse. Victory is a decision that was all to use. Victory is a decision, not a destination. Victory is a decision built by determination. Every morning when the alarm said no, and I said yeah. Victory is a decision, nothing more, nothing less. I used to wait for victory to feel like something grand, a trophy, a moment, something I could hold in my hand. And I realized the victory was happening in the dark. Victory is a decision that was always the spark. Come on! The decision at 5 a.m. when the bed was warm and calling. The decision in the forceps when the body was falling apart. And I chose one more above the line. Victory is a decision every single time. My determination became bigger than my reasons to delay. The excuses lost their power on that particular day. I can't in the exact moment, but I know what happened. Victory is a decision and the field was flattened. Every person who was winning made the same decision first. Before the victory, before the trophy, through the worst. The decision always precedes the result by months and years. Victory is a decision made before it appears. Victory is a decision made before the rep. Victory is a decision taken at each step. The moment determination got bigger than excuse. Victory is a decision that was all to you. Victory is a decision, not a destination. Victory is a decision built by determination.